So in today's video, I'm going to be answering some of your questions. Now, I remember we told you to post your questions in the comment section below in the past few videos so that we can do this Q&A session over here. And also in the Facebook group, we also mentioned post your questions so that I can answer it today. And apart from that, guys, if you've not joined the Facebook group yet, I suggest you join it because we have a community of 1800 to 1900 members who are taking action in their dating life. So if you have any questions, you can get different opinions. You can get feedback from me, you can get feedback from the other members who are veterans who have been doing this for a longer time, and it's a very good spot to find a wing too. So let's not waste any more time, let's get right to it. Alright, so the first question, Siddharth Mishra asks, what advice would you give to a guy who's 25 years old, never made a girlfriend or gone on a date? Is it too late for him to start, or should he wait another 1 or 2 years to make his career and then move to build his social life? I'm sorry about that. Now guys, Siddharth, you have to understand, man, if you're gonna wait more, you're not gonna get any result. See, in dating, you never just stagnate. Either you're going forward or either you're going backward. And waiting 2 years means that you're going backward because you're not taking action in your dating life. So, if you've not gotten results for 25, understand, you're talking from a perspective of fear that, hey, I don't want to take action, because I'm not getting any result. I'm 25 years old, so might as well just, give it 2 more years, right? But you have to understand, if you don't take action right now, it's never too late to start, but it will be a bit late. And what I mean by that is, if you're not getting action right now, I think you should take a guided program or something where you get someone to hold you accountable. And because see, whatever you've been doing has gotten you to this stage. So whatever you have been doing for the past 25 years has not really been working. So you have to change what you do in order to get those results. And I would not suggest you wait 1 or 2 years because that's just going to hold you back. And that's just fear. It's just the fear inside you that is talking. So don't do that, man. Neil Solanki asks, how to improve your sense of humor? Now, for this, Neil, I did a lot of things. I watched a lot of stand-up comedy. I watched a lot of, dark comedy as well. That's my kind of comedy. And all you need to do is you need to take risks as well. You need to keep your opinion forward. Don't think that someone is going to get offended. You need to crack the joke that you really want to. And you need to go out and talk to more people. That's how you work on your sense of humor. Apart from that, the other question is, do you use Clubhouse? Now, we did have one session in Clubhouse and all the details were shared in the Facebook group, in the Facebook community. So if you've not joined the Facebook community yet, join that Facebook community, because if we ever use Clubhouse, it's going to be over there. And it's almost like a free consultation session where, we're just having a chit chat, we're talking, we're solving all your issues. So I hope that answers your question, man. Tanish Sharma asks, things to do after the number close. And how many days should I ask her to meet? And how much time should I message her after getting the number? Now, Tanish, think about it, man. What will a person who has a lot of options, who is talking to a lot of girls, what would a person who's kind of high value, what would he do? Would he think about all of that, or would he just text the girl when he's free? Now, for example, what do I do after a number close? I'm just talking to the girl. It's not like I'm ejecting, and what I see in the field is most people talk to the girl, get the number and eject, and that's not a good strategy. So the thing is, you just have to continue the conversation like nothing ever happened. You got the number, but you still want to know her more. That's why you're there. You're not there for the number. And I just keep on talking, and that's what you should do. And apart from that, after how many days should I ask her out to meet? That completely depends on how much time you have in your hands. And for me, it's usually when I take the girl's number, I'll just make a plan then and there so that the plan is solidified, and when I'm texting her, it's not like, I have to start from scratch. So I make the plan then and there. Maybe, if I'm meeting her on Saturday, I'll tell her, hey, I'm free on Wednesday, I would love to take you out, right? And then I'll take her number. So I've already solidified a plan. And after how much time should I message her after getting the number? If I'm going to pull the girl that night, I'll message her that night. If I'm going to text her tomorrow or day after tomorrow, it all depends on how much free time I have. I'm not consciously thinking about it. But if I'm speaking to the girl and I'm like, hey, let's meet her later tonight, then I'm going to text her that night itself. If I meet her in the daytime and I have to meet her in the evening, which I would try, that is the plan A. That is the first thing that I would try when I'm getting a number, is to meet her the same day. So I'll tell her, hey, listen, are you free right now? Let's catch up. And I'll text her that time itself. But if I have a plan of maybe the next week, then maybe I'll text her tomorrow. So Rohit Manohar asks, how much does momentum contribute to success in game? Like, for example, is it possible to have success in games without having success in other areas of your life? Or let's say you have a long dry spell. Does hooking up and connecting with that first goal set into motion a positive momentum for you, which then spirals into many more pulls and closes? So Rohit, of course, momentum is important in game. And what I mean is, when you're going out, when you're approaching those people, when you're approaching girls, you'll have a lot of negative thoughts if you don't have the momentum. But once you do have the momentum, you do game for 30 days straight, 25 days straight, you've approached tons of girls, you won't have those negative thoughts in your head. Is it possible to have success in game without having success in other areas of your life? Most definitely, man. Because when I was in Singapore, I didn't have any success in any other area of my life. I was a college student, and definitely I was getting good results in game. So it's definitely possible. It's not like you need a lot of money, you need a lot of social status, or you need good looks to be successful in game. And I'll just post a photo so that you see how I used to look. And yeah, it was just insane. So let's say you have a long dry spell. Does hooking up, now it's just the obvious, right? If you hook up with one girl, you talk to one girl, it's definitely going to give you some belief that you can do it again. It's going to give you the reference experience, and that's all you need to do it again and to set that positive momentum. So yeah, I would say yes to this. And I would say definitely you should try and go out, and don't have so higher standards if you've not really met someone for the whole year. And if you have a long dry spell, it's important that you go out, put yourself in the dating game again. And then Meshach Ajax, what a cool name, man. Meshach Ajax asks, what is the point of teasing? While teasing the girl, how to not cross the line? Alright, so the point of teasing, it's like being hot and cold with the girl, right? It's like giving her certain emotions. The reason you're teasing a girl is so that she feels certain emotions when she's with you, and any emotion is good except a baseline of emotions. So even if it's a positive emotion or negative emotion, it's good. And how do you know it's enough? Try to read her indicators of interest and her disindicators of interest. Now, we have made a video on this, and I'll post the link right over there so that you can check out that video. But you have to understand, you have to gauge her, or you have to observe her facial expressions. You have to see whether she's getting uncomfortable, and if the girl is getting uncomfortable, also observe her body language, right? If she's leaning out, if she's leaning in, she's interested. If she's leaning out, she's not interested. We have a whole video on this. Better suggest you check out that video. Syed Ahmed asks, how to sexually escalate a conversation? Now guys, these are the same questions that are coming up over and over again, and we have already made one video on this, how to sexually escalate. Right? Now, guys, understand how to sexually escalate the conversation. So that means that you're asking about verbal sexual escalation, but you have to understand verbal sexual escalation is the worst. Alright? Now, anything can be sexual just with the eye contact, with the subconscious communication. You don't have to literally make it verbal, and if you're making it verbal, keep it very subtle. Now, I would not just, tell the girl, hey, I just want to fuck you, right? I'll just be like, hey, you're damn beautiful. Now, what is happening over here is, in my mind, I'm thinking that, hey, I just really want to be with this girl, and that's giving me a sexual vibe, and the emotions are getting transferred, the state is getting transferred, because it's deep eye contact, taking pauses in my voice, and that's how you sexually escalate verbally. You take long pauses, you have a deep voice tonality, and you're looking straight into the girl's eye. I hope that answers your question. Now, some questions from Instagram. So we also posted it on Instagram. If you've not followed the Growthing official Instagram yet, I suggest you do that, because over there we're going to post daily unfiltered dating tips. So Armor Charmer, wow, interesting name, man. Armor Charmer. How to manage time between hustling in work and abundance in dating. Alright, so if you want to manage time, you literally have to skip on some things, whatever you're doing, procrastination. Now, I remember when I was in Singapore, I had my college at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. and I was doing a lot of night game, a lot of day game over there, and it was very hard to manage time. So I had to cut on my sleep. I had to sleep in the afternoon, and I had to also, so guys, you have to make time. You can't really manage a lot of time. You have to make time. So whatever activities I was doing, like watching movies, listening to songs, activities which were wasting my time, I cut them out of my life, and all I did was focus on the dating aspect of it. So I would strongly suggest write down where are you wasting time. First, understand how are you distributing time in your life, and then eradicate those moments where you're procrastinating, eradicate those times which you're wasting, which you think that it's not productive enough. And then definitely focus on dating during that time. Another good thing is to have a logistical pull location near the game location. Living near the place where you're gonna game is one big thing, because that will change your results a lot. Plus, it will save you a lot of time on travel. It will also save you a lot of time on booking the hotel, thinking about where do I want to take the girl. So if you don't have a house, if you're living with your parents, this is one thing to consider, right? Because when I was living in Singapore, guys, it was so awesome. My place was right next to Clarke. It was like 15 minutes walk, and I could just walk to the party place, and that will change your results drastically. And I've always heard this in game, that player who has really bad logistics, means who stays 1 hour away from the city, player who has medium to intermediate game, who lives in the city, who will get more results and who will learn more. Obviously, the player who's living near the city, having even mediocre results, because he's going to be motivated to take action, while the other person is just going to be thinking, hey, where do I pull the girls? I am Anand Yadav. Oh, interesting name, ma'am. I am Anand Yadav. Asks, can you pull and hook up with a girl on same day? No, man. If you've seen all the videos and you still believe, you're still asking me that question, I don't think we can, man. I don't think we can. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can hook up with any girl. Because understand, you're seeing all these fucking videos, you're watching all the content, and you're still asking all these questions, right? These are irrelevant questions. This is happening all around. Whether you want to know about it or not, it's just happening in India. Watch our videos and you'll see, and then answer this question yourself. Suryansh Khanna, 6102. How much does height matter? Well, it depends what kind of height you're talking about. Now, if you're talking about your dick size, it doesn't really matter much, because you're not going to just talk to a girl and be like, hey, I have like a 9 inches cock. My name is Arnav. Nice to meet you. Just kidding, guys. But height really doesn't matter much, because the best game I've personally seen in the world is not on YouTube. It's not anywhere. It was of a guy who was 5'4" from Italy, and this guy was just killing it in game. So I don't think height matters much. And personally, I'm not that tall. It's not like I'm 6'2", 6'3". And with that, I also want to share a story, guys. So I had one client who was 6'3", and he was in a boot camp with me, and he was like a really, really big guy. Alright? So whenever he approached a girl, the girls were like so small in front of him. The girls used to get scared because he's really big. Right? So he's approaching the girl and he's just blocking all the sunlight, and they feel threatened by him. So I used to think just like you guys, that if you have a really tall height, it's really good for you. But it also has some downsides. With that particular guy, it was really hard for him to calibrate, and of course he was in a boot camp. So we helped him out there, like take a step back whenever you're approaching a girl, so the girl does not feel that threatened. And we all think that if you have a height of 6'3", 6'4", the game is much easier, but that's not the case. Now, when I saw that guy Marco in Italy gaming, in Singapore, gaming, this Italian guy, 5'4", and it was effortless for him, right? It was fucking effortless for him, and all the girls loved him. There were girls coming, and he went to the washroom for 2 minutes, and the girls are coming, and they're like, where's Marco? Where's that Italian guy who's sitting with you? Where's that guy? And I was so jealous at that time, but yeah, it is what it is. So height doesn't really matter. What matters is what you think about it. If you think that height matters in game, subconsciously you want to be low in confidence. So make sure that you don't have these thoughts in your head. Past lives, 66. How much time does it really take to learn game? If you only learn from your mentorship program, honest answers only. Alright, man, I'm not gonna lie, the mentorship program is 3 months, and there's a reason for why it's a 3 months course, because it will take you 3 months to get at an intermediate level with guided coaching, with a guided mentorship program, and it all depends on the amount of action you take. Now, if you're a guy who's going out 1 day a week, it can take you a year. But if you're a guy who's going out 4 to 5 days a week, then I think 3 months is a good time. So it all depends on how much action you take, because we'll be giving you the guidance. But if you're sitting at home and you're thinking, hey, I'll just get the guidance, I'm not going to approach any girls, and it's just going to happen, it's never going to happen. So you have to understand it all depends on how much action you take, how many questions you ask, and how interested are you in the program. So guys, and apart from that, the program, we're going to give you missions and everything. So if you don't follow the missions, you're not going to get the results. You're not going to learn game. But if you do follow the missions, if you do everything, you're going to get results within the second month, or after 3 months, you'll have a good hang on that game. Khedkar Satyam asks, how can we get her in fashion and body language? Alright guys, how can we get better in fashion and body language? Alright guys, so fashion, you can just go out, watch some fashion bloggers. Because guys, understand, with fashion, you don't have to really put in so much thought, alright? You just have to upgrade your fashion sense, and you have to be presentable. That is what it is. So for fashion sense, I would suggest you watch some YouTube videos, There are a lot of YouTube videos on fashion, and you don't really have to spend a lot of money. All right, you don't really have to spend a lot of money. You can just think about what kind of style you want. First, understand your style, and we'll be creating some videos as we go in the future about this. But think about your style. What kind of style you want? A person who is 18-year-old and a person who is 27-year-old will have a different fashion sense, will have different style, all right? A person who's 32 will have a different style. And it all depends on your job profile, how you are as a person, your personality as well. Now, if a person is into DJing, he might have, a street hip-hop feel to him. But if a person is, like me, a coach, I might want to be more professional. Okay, so I was doing a sales call. With one of the clients, and he's like, "Hey man, are you a dating coach?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Will you also help me with the makeover?" I'm like, "Yes, I will help you with the makeover." He's like, "Okay, I just want to be clear. I took a boot camp, and there was some dating coach, and all the clients in that particular boot camp just looked like him, like white shoes, some I think jeans, some black t-shirt." I'm like, "What?" So that's not working on your fashion sense. It's just basically you're imitating something. So first, we have to figure out your style, and this is what we do in the bootcamp program. We'll figure out your style, and on the second day, we'll tell you what to shop. So you don't have to literally just see someone and take the same clothing, but you have to think about it. Think about what you can afford. Think about what clothes you have access to. Think about what kind of locations do you go to. Think about what kind of personality do you have. So that's how you focus on improving your fashion sense. And body language. Now for body language, go hit the lower back, go hit the gym. So that's when you improve your body language. Now, right now, I've not really hit the gym since a month, but that's going to change now. I was a bit busy in my work, but that's going to change. Rock Sharma asks, my brother is 50 and divorced. Should he be optimistic about finding a girl because of his age? Will he ever get a partner ever? So Rock Sharma, very cool name first. And secondly, your brother is 50 and divorced. I think he should take personalized coaching from me, or else he can do it on his own as well. He can try, but this is not the time of trying. He doesn't have a lot of time to waste. So he can definitely find a girl, and if you've seen the interview we posted recently, you should check out that interview. I'll leave a link in the description above. How I helped the 48-year-old guy get good results in his dating life during the pandemic. So I'm sure that your brother, if he's in a metropolitan city, he's got things a lot easier, and it's going to be easier for me to help him. And with that particular guy, he was in a tier 3 city, a small town, conservative spot. And definitely, if he can do it, then your brother can do it. Now, Suraj Kumar asks, how do you approach father, daughter, brother, sister sets during the day without getting punched in your face? Alright, Suraj. So, personally, I would not go for a father and daughter set. Alright, I would not go for a father and daughter set because this is India and this goes with cultural calibration. If you're approaching a daughter with his father, first of all, even if she gives you the number, she's not going to text you back because the father is going to tell her, fuck this guy, who's this guy who's coming and talking to my daughter, don't text him back. Right, so she's not going to text you back. You're going to be unable to pull her because understand she's not going to leave a father for you. Yeah, brother, sister, I'll still do. I've still done a lot about brother and sister. Mother, daughter also I've done, but these are all the things that we show in the boot camp just to show some flashy game. But these are not the sets that will end up anywhere, all right? Most of mother-daughter still can go somewhere, but brother-sister still can go somewhere, but father-daughter is a set which will not go anywhere. So why even do it? But if you want to do it, just do it. Just approach the father and then just talk to the daughter and understand. Be very socially calibrated. Go for an indirect opinion opener or something like that rather than, hey, I saw you, I found you cute. That's going to get you slapped. So don't do that. If you're not a coach, I don't think you need to show your game to anyone or you need to do a game for boot camps or anything. And brother-sister is just like any other set. So what I did with the brother and sister set, I approached the brother first. Alright, I approached the brother. I'm like, hey man, you have some amazing fashion sense. What kind of clothes is it? Where did you buy your t-shirt from? He's like, hey, it's down over there, it's the store. And the sisters was just standing there. So I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. And just talking to the girls. And I didn't know at that time they were brother and sister. I spoke to the brother. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I steal your friend for a moment? He's like, she's not my friend, she's my sister. I'm like, oh, all right, not a problem, man. Just try to hold a decent conversation with your sister. And then he was okay with it, but he also got a bit annoyed. However, because I disarmed him, right? I gave him a compliment. He was not hostile towards me. He was a bit annoyed. He was a bit pissed for sure. I did get the sister's number, but he got pissed as well. So if you don't have, social intelligence of handling that kind of a situation. If you've not been in messy situations before, I would suggest you stay away from at least a father and a daughter set. Alright, because that's going to land you in trouble, and I don't want you to land in trouble. So I hope we answered some of your questions, and if there are some questions left unanswered, if you have any questions, do post them down in the comment section or join the Facebook group, post your questions over there, and I'll make sure that I answer them. So this is it for today, and I'll see you in the next video.